We've been on the road for 3 years now, and we'd love to show you around the inside of our school bus.
We're Daniella and Jalen, and welcome to the tour. We are the cream-based bus, which stands for Creative Art and Music, but our bus's name is actually Grumpie. She's a 36-foot Bluebird school bus with a front engine and a flat nose. The engine actually sits inside next to the driver's seat, which we'll show you in a second. We bought our bus off Facebook Marketplace for $4,000. It was over in Ohio, so we made the 8-hour drive, hoping that this would be the bus so we didn't drive for nothing in our car. Wound up falling in love with it and driving it back home to convert it in the next 10 months. Before we go inside, let's give you a tour of the outside because we've added a ton of features as well. Starting off with the front door. This was originally the double bus doors that opened up, but we added a pane of steel in the center and connected them to be one very large, heavy door that now opens up like a regular front door. We've got a deadbolt lock on the front, and we've also got this really awesome handle that we found when we were out in Oregon. One of the newer additions we put on is actually this stained glass. It's just window film, and it's been great. We use it on a bunch of the windows in our bus, and we use it here specifically because we've got a crack in our front door. Up in the front here, we mounted this double e-bike rack onto our front bumper. We actually had to take the bumper off and put a big piece of steel underneath it so it was more supportive because the weight of this and the bikes is really heavy. But we've got 2 e-bikes, and they've served us really well over the past 2 years, getting a little bit further than the bus can take us when we want to leave it parked somewhere and just take them for a zip. Right off the door, we've got this box which has a couple outlets in it. This is great for stringing up lights, charging those e-bikes outdoors, and putting up a speaker if we need to plug it in. We utilize these magnetic hooks for just about everything, throwing a towel out here to dry after we've hit the beach, putting up our Gone Surfing sign that somebody in Florida just gifted us. And we added this really large, I think it's an 8-foot table actually, of redwood that we got out in Oregon, and is great for hosting people, serving food buffet style, or just putting your stuff outside. If you want to cook out here, we've done that, and that's really fun too. This table is attached with these 2 chains, and it just pops right up, clips here, and stays in place and pops right down. Super simple. Underneath it, we've got this box that houses our propane, and that runs both the hot water heater and our oven. Continuing down the passenger side of the bus, we've got an outlet out here. This is our shore power if we ever need to plug in at a friend's house, family, or an RV park. And our diesel tank, we've got a 60-gallon diesel tank in there. Moving on to the back of the bus, we've got our little collection of stickers. These are mainly companies that we support, from friends or just other places we've seen on the road, as well as our tagline. Please follow us on YouTube or Instagram to stay up to date with our journey. Back door opens up. We put up this screen in the back. We've got 3 cats, so this doesn't let them get out, but we can still get that airflow, as well as our 100 gallons of water, our garage space, which houses our tools, some extra coolant, and all miscellaneous items. And we've got an air conditioner on the back. In the past 3 months, we've added a car to our caravan, which has been really awesome, especially now that we've got our pup Cypress, and he's getting big. So we can't just throw him in a backpack on the e-bikes with us like we did with the cats for the past 2 years. The car has been great at really making the bus feel like a home base and the car be our little explorer. I've actually been driving the car behind Jalen while he drives the bus because it's not flat towable, and that's a system that's been working for us for now. Moving on to the driver's side of the bus, this is our water inlet. It is just gravity fed, so you put a hose right to it, and the water feeds down into that 100-gallon tank that I showed you before, filling it up with fresh water everywhere we go. There's not too much else going on this side of the bus, so I'm gonna take a moment to talk about what we've got going on up on the roof. On the roof, we've got 2,000 watts of solar, which has been plenty for us to run our fridge 24/7, run our AC all day when it's hot, run our recording studio, run our videography business, do our UGC content work, and work our remote job. So it is more than enough that we need. We've got a skylight up in the shower, which we'll show you inside, as well as the chimney. for our fireplace and a Max Air fan. One of my favorite parts aesthetically of our bus is this little travel map we've got going on. It doesn't have all the states we've on it yet. We have a few more that we didn't add in, but it lets us see the progress we've made all throughout the US. So cute. All right, now let's take you inside. Right as you walk in, we've got our shoe storage. This keeps our shoes out of the way as much as possible and off of the stairs, as well as the little catch-all for our cat items, dog poop bags, and one of our plants. We've got this curtain, which is great for some privacy on the front door if you're leaving it somewhere and you want to close things off, as well as this rod that holds our bags, our helmets, and some more plants up front. I have to say it's been kind of hard to keep our plants alive just because the temperatures vary so much living in a school bus. During the day it's super hot, at night it can be super cold, or in the winter it's just freezing. But these ones are surviving so far, which is really exciting. This right here is actually our engine, which doubles as a really great seat for more space. It's super casual and cozy. It allows us to use our floor pillows from our house, and it's pretty comfortable, especially when you're facing this way. We've created custom curtains for all of the windows in the bus, including these front ones, which let in the most heat because they're so big. They just roll down and have reflectix inside of them, which keeps them insulated. We've got some of our favorite games, books, knickknacks, and journals. We really don't do too much in here. It's just more something cool to look at. And we repurposed the original box that was part of the bus, made a new wood frame for the outside, and the inside's the same metal, and reused it. And it's been great. On the side here, we've got this round piece of wood from Home Depot, actually the perfect size to cover our steering wheel as a secondary desk or seat or table if you ever need it. And we've got a power station up front that we use to plug in our phone while we're driving for navigation. Super easy access. Behind the driver's seat, we've got a lot going on. This is Jalen's desk and studio space. He's got a full recording studio in here with a bunch of equipment to line out a snake, record bands, record individual artists. He loves to work with singer-songwriters, so if you're somebody on the road who wants to record a song, definitely let us know. We've got our desk space for our videography editing, as well as a record player in the bus. I know, yes, we love our record players, so we actually got one on the road and created this whole shelf for it in the past year with the speakers and Jalen's little Pokemon Jirachi collection going on up here, with lots more Pokemon cards under the desk. There's a lot of storage down here. In addition to the driver's seat and the seat on the engine, we've got this little love seat for two. It's perfect for us or for one of us in Cyprus at this point. He's such a big boy. We used to have a bigger couch that pulled out to a full-size bed, but we realized nobody was coming to stay with us, so we figured let's have a bigger kitchen, smaller couch. It's just the two of us anyways. Our kitchen is the heart of our bus. The longer we've been on the road, the more community we seem to meet, and we typically have the biggest rig of all of our friends. So they come on over for family dinners, and we chef it up in here, and we recently even upgraded to a larger stove. This is a 4-burner with almost a full-size oven. It's an apartment-sized stove, about, I think it was 20 or 24 inches, and it has been amazing the past few weeks. The first cabinet houses all of our cat stuff. So food, treats, I guess pet stuff in general. We've got doggy bags in there, and underneath it is where we keep our litter box and some extra litter. We've got a little door here, and the litter box slides out, easy access to clean. We keep our cups and bowls on the top, and then we've got some pantry items on the bottom down here. The star of the storage show is definitely this shelf that holds all of our spices and some tea and coffeeware. It has provided us so much extra space, along with keeping our spices up here, which the lids of these mason jars are just screwed into the wood and then they screw right off. Saves a ton of space in your cabinets. Totally love it. This is the new 4-burner stove that I was talking about. That's really amazing. And we've got a 10 cubic foot fridge and freezer combination that also looks vintage and is very cute with its little covered cap over here and handlebars. And all of our magnets from the states we've traveled to, most of the states we traveled to, if we didn't love a state, we really didn't get a magnet. But we still have to get one for Florida, which is where we're at right now. That's why we've got the great ocean views outside. On the driver's side of the kitchen area, we've got a really big sink. It's about 30 inches. This cutting board fits into it perfectly, giving us extra counter space, but also lifts up, and our big sink is in there. We've got a swivel faucet that comes out and also has a sprayer, as well as running water, obviously. Our knives are held up with a magnetic strip. They pop right off and stick on. They've never fallen off. I always wondered that when I was watching these tour videos. So just in case you're wondering, magnetic strip is really great. And we've got our tea section up here as well as our cleaner. Something we're not using right now is this gigantic wood stove. Jalen's grandpa actually built this for us out of an air compressor tank with a bike kickstand as the handle. This thing keeps us alive in the winter. We also cook on it all winter long since there's a fire going. You can have hot tea or a stew ready at any time. But in the summer, it's really just extra counter space for us. Between the desk and the stove is where we keep all of Cypress's stuff. We've got a basket for all his toys and then his bin of food underneath. We've rearranged this space so many times in the past 2.5 years that we've been living in it. We had small desks, we've had large couches, we've had cat tree here. So it's an ever-evolving space for our current needs. Let's go to the back half. This area really divides the front half from the back half of the bus and the entertaining space from more of a personal serenity. We've got a fully tiled shower, which is actually larger than the shower we had in our apartment when we were living in one, and a rainfall shower head maximizing as much space as possible. It doesn't really matter to me, but for Jalen, we added this little roof raise skylight so that he could stand in the lower part of the bus on the side here, as well as our DIY composting toilet. Super simple to make. We use coconut core to put on it, and that is what we house in this like trough thing over here, which actually used to be the toilet paper holder in our old apartment, as well as a place for all of our towels rolled up on the side wall right here. Space saving is huge when you live in a bus, so you get creative on where to store all your things. Continuing with the bathroom, on this side we've got a separate vanity station. This holds all of our cosmetics as well as a sink to brush our teeth and wash our face so we don't have to do it over our dirty dishes in the kitchen. We've got all my jewelry hanging up over here as decor and as easy access to see what you have and wear it more. Hopefully, that's the goal. We hang up our hats on a hook over here and then have miscellaneous scarves and items hanging in this bag as well. Our shower door doubles as a full-size mirror. This is a piece that came from our house that we added barn door hardware to, and we didn't even plan for it to fit, but it works perfectly for our shower space. Another cool feature is that our closet door closes off and creates a bedroom door, so we have some privacy back here if we ever want to lock the dog out or just have a separate space. The back here is super open. It's something that I love about our build. We've kept a lot of space back here. I can roll out a yoga mat and do yoga. We've still got room for, hi Mochi. This is Mochi. He's the cat that we got together, our little long hair boy. And then I found Dolly. She's the one sleeping on the bed who was my kitty when Jalen and I met. We've got room back here for a second desk. When Jalen and I were both working remote jobs, he worked in the front, I worked in the back here, and you couldn't even hear each other on calls. A new addition has been this exposed clothing rack. Typically all of this would live in our closet, but we decided to give this a try for our summer stuff and then leave kind of our winter coats in the closet so that we have double space now. We've got a queen size bed. We typically sleep side to side, but during the day we'll set it up more as a casual situation facing the front, as well as a max air fan above the bed. And this is where our mini split lives. Mini split does AC and heating in one. It does run off AC power, so it is a power sucker, but we're able to use it all day when the sun is out. Under the bed is a ton of storage space besides the garage, which kind of covers this back half of the bed. The front half houses a 5-piece drum kit that's all packed up under this side, and on this side we've got our really bulky, heavy winter clothes and other items. We've also got miscellaneous storage in these bins along the bed over here. We'd love to one day build in like a shelf that holds all this, but for now, we've just got some plastic containers. Two things I want to mention about the ceiling. We left our original emergency exits, which have been awesome to get extra air in here, as well as a way to get up on the roof if we need to. And we milled all the wood for the ceiling ourselves from two really large trees. Jalen's great uncle let us use his wood mill, which was a really fun experience. We've never done it before. It took about 2 weeks to cut and plane every piece for the ceiling and some of the wall panels as well. Behind me, you'll see our electrical closet. We made this very easy to access, and unfortunately, the first year on the road, we had a lot of problems with our electrical system and had to get in here all the time. Since we've upgraded to a whole different system and it's been amazing, we honestly don't ever look at it, but it gives me peace of mind to know that if we needed to, we can access it easily and make any replacements needed. As mentioned in the beginning, Grumpie is a 2001 Bluebird school bus. We got her with under 100,000 miles on it. The engine and transmission was actually replaced by the school district before we got her. Something really important to us when looking for a bus was not only the make of the bus, but the engine type and the transmission. We've got a Cummins 5.9 engine and an Allison transmission, which from my research was the golden combo that we were looking for, along with the size of the bus. At the time, we didn't know what that size was. We were actually measuring by windows. We would count the windows of buses that we saw as they were driving past us, or in other YouTube videos, I think we're 11 windows, and that is 36 feet with the flat nose. If you have any questions about our bus, finding a bus, or the build process, we did all of this ourselves and are more than happy to be a resource for you. YouTube University taught us so much, and we love to be able to give back to the YouTube platform by creating content. So don't forget to like and subscribe to follow along with our journey, and let us know in the comments if you've got any questions. Do you think you could live in a school bus? It's pretty much home to me. And you, buddy, do you love your bus home? Do you love your bus home? We hope to see you on the next video. Thanks for joining.